Hi, my name's Andy and I'm recording this video to show you the functionality of the CVPS mobile application and how it interacts with our desktop application. So what we are looking at here is the iOS mobile application, runs on Apple devices, iPod Touch, iPhone, iPad, and the CVPS desktop application. Here on the desktop application, we're showing the request monitor, which displays vehicles that are queued up for retrieval. We're showing the staging monitor, which shows vehicles that have been greeted and ticketed by a valet but are waiting to be parked. And we're showing the parking monitor, which displays vehicles that are actively being parked by valets right now. What I want to do is take you through a typical vehicle arrival and vehicle request transaction so you see the functionality of the mobile application and how it works with the desktop app. So let's start by looking at the mobile app. We're here on the main screen, where we have only two buttons, arrival and request, as that covers the vast majority of the functionality that valets perform with the mobile application. We can swipe left to go to the request monitor, where we show the same data as the desktop application. Of course, there's no vehicles in there at the moment. We can swipe right to go back to the main screen, and swipe right again to get to what we call the toolbox, where you can access other, less used functions of the mobile application. Both the mobile application and the desktop application communicate with the same database. So when an action is performed on one device, the record is uploaded to the server and it's shared amongst all of the devices communicating with the database. So let's go through the arrival screen. Guest arrives in the porte-cochere, valet greets them, issues a ticket, and touches arrival on the screen. After they touch arrival, they scan the barcoded claim check. So let's do 685884. After the ticket number is scanned, additional data fields populate. And looks like we've used this ticket before. So let me put in a different ticket number. There we go. So additional fields open up. And what I've populated for you here is some fields that are typically used in a hotel or hospitality or casino setting. We have the VIN number, that's the barcoded vehicle identification number that's found inside the door frame of most of the cars on the road. License plate, make, model, and color. VIP for casinos, this is where we would scan a player card. Guest name, employee name, and the parking space where the vehicle is ultimately parked. Now you have your choices as to which data fields you display and the order in which they appear. You can figure that within the settings of the application. So let's scan a barcoded VIN number. When you scan a barcoded VIN number, if the vehicle has never been to the property before, it will automatically decode the make and model. If the vehicle has been to the property before, it will retrieve the stored information about that vehicle. So we'll click on the barcode icon here, and then I've got a VIN number printed out here, and we'll scan it. This vehicle's not been to the property before, so we'll select the color, and we see that it is a Mercedes S-Class. So now on subsequent visits, when you scan that VIN number, it'll retrieve whatever additional information we populate. So let's give this guest a name. We'll say it's Ms. Collins. And for now, we'll save the transaction. We'll say that the valet's busy. So we hit save. You'll get a confirmation or potentially a fail message. If the transaction does fail, it will go into a queue. And then when connectivity is restored, that information will be uploaded. Now we look over here, we see there's the ticket number that we populated, the Mercedes-Benz S-Class. We didn't populate a license plate, so there's no value there at the moment. So the next step in the process is that this vehicle will be parked by a valet. Now, in some cases, that information is recorded on the mobile device. In others, it would be recorded when the valet scans their credentials, their barcoded ID badge, and their ticket in order to enter the garage. So I'm going to simulate that by adding an employee value from the mobile application. So we'll hit arrival again. We'll populate the ticket again. And this time we're going to add an employee. Now from the mobile application, you simply choose the employee. From a list. So we'll select that employee and we'll hit save. Now we'll see the ticket move from the staging monitor into the parking monitor. And the piece of data that we added along the way is the employee who's parked the vehicle. So right now we know that Antonio is driving this Mercedes right now, and he's been in that car for less than 1 minute. Now Antonio is going to drive into the garage and park that vehicle. Well, let's assume that Antonio is carrying a mobile device. So when Antonio gets to the parking space and puts the vehicle away, he will go back and scan the ticket number again, 710580, and add a parking space. Now that ticket will disappear from the staging monitor, or rather the parking monitor, and it will go into our inventory. So there's our success message on the mobile application, and now the ticket's going to disappear from the parking monitor the next time this refreshes. There we go. So now we can go and look at our parked vehicles database. And right up here on top, there's ticket number 710580, Miss Collins with her blue Mercedes, and it was parked in the main garage, space 775 by Antonio. So that's pretty much the arrival process. The idea is that the mobile application gives you a tool where you can enter some to all of the information that needs to be collected about a vehicle as part of the arrival process. In addition, we can use the camera on the mobile device to capture images of pre-existing damage. Now let's look at a request. From a request standpoint, the mobile application functions really as a mobile dispatch or even a mobile cashiering terminal. So a customer can walk up to a valet who's holding the mobile device, present their ticket. The valet touches request and then scans that ticket. Then we display the length of time, basically the ticket number, the entry time, the departure time, the length of stay, and then we'll display any fee due for the vehicle. This particular system that I'm using to demonstrate this is from a hotel, and there is a daily parking charge. So this guest has been here for a little more than 3 days, and they owe $157. We can process cash payments, credit card payments, post to a hotel folio, or apply a discount. We can also turn on an additional button here where we can swipe a casino player card if we're going to charge for parking in a casino environment. So for simplicity's sake, let's just take cash. So we'll collect $180, $22 in change, and we'll save the transaction. Once again, we get a confirmation message. And now this ticket is going to appear here in our desktop request monitor. And we also see that the mobile application is blinking. The mobile application is also playing an audible alert. And if you're using an iPhone, it can also vibrate. Swipe left, we see the same information. Ticket number 600402, parked in space 121. Same information that's on the desktop application. So now the valets have an opportunity to claim that retrieval, either from the desktop application where the keys are stored, where they would typically scan their ID badge and ticket. But let's do it in this case from the mobile application. So we swipe left to the request monitor, we touch the transaction, and now we can touch the assign button. After we hit assign, we can either scan a barcoded ID badge. That would be in the case where a valet with a mobile device was dispatching keys to various other staff. We can choose from a list, another way to choose a valet when jobs are being distributed by a central controller. But in this case, we're just going to assign the logged in user. Oh, apparently I have exceeded the maximum number of retrievals that I can claim without making a delivery. We put a value in there in the past because some valets would claim one retrieval after another. So you can set a maximum value that a valet can only record a single vehicle, then they have to deliver it before they can retrieve another. So I will instead choose a valet from the list. So we'll do Charles. Very good. Now we will see that Charles has retrieved the vehicle. We see the same information over here on the desktop application. The audible alerts have stopped. The visible alerts have stopped because at the moment there are no more transactions to be retrieved. So now Charles is going to drive to the exit of the garage. And in the case that there are access controls present, Charles would scan his ID badge and scan his ticket to raise the gate. In the instance where there are no access controls, Charles can simply deliver the vehicle back to the customer, go back to the mobile application, choose his record, and then select deliver. We'll confirm the delivery, confirmation message, and it disappears from the request monitor. That is arriving a vehicle and requesting a vehicle using the CVPS mobile application. I hope you found this informative. Please reach out anytime if you have any questions or we can do anything to help. Thank you.